You should know here at Not Your Mother's Goose, we are firmly committed to the idea that everyone should be well informed about the news. We also highly recommend not getting that news from us. But here's our newscast anyway. Citing safety concerns, Tigger not invited to Piglet's birthday party at trampoline park. Mad Hatter disappointed to learn today is not his unbirthday. And now we're off to Broadway with this headline: Disaster strikes Pac-Man musical. When your Broadway musical tanks, most producers have a list of excuses at the ready for the blame, with Haunted Theater being near the top of the list. But this time the ghosts are not the culprits for the troubles that plagued the debut of Pac-Man the musical. The show opened in previews last week at the Gershwin Theater, with industry insiders expecting big profits. The costume department had already outfitted Inky, Blinky, Pinky, and Clyde for $56 in one trip to the betting section at Target, and the orchestra was replaced by a kid with a synthesizer that only needed to play about 5 notes. What they hadn't considered was the concession stand. Everything was going swimmingly until roughly 20 minutes into Act 1, when theatergoer Bart McDonald tripped returning to his seat in row D, spilling his extra-large bucket of popcorn all over the lower level of the theater. Spotting the resulting line of yellow pellets, Pac-Man broke off his dialogue and instinctively began racing in and out of the aisles, scarfing every kernel in his path. Mayhem ensued and could not be contained until the crazed Pac-Man spotted a guest with some cherries and got stuck in the top corner of the theater long enough for ghosts to converge. Show staff plan to implement a water-only policy at future performances and say they're glad that nobody was selling caramel corn that could have clumped together into one of those super pellets. While generally panning the production, a New York Post reviewer did note that the show should win a Tony for staging, based on Pac-Man's ability to walk off stage right and simultaneously walk back on stage left. Let's take a quick commercial break so we too can grab ourselves something to eat.
It's time to talk about things that start with F. Don't worry, these are family friendly. But what do you get when you combine fairy tales, farms, and my favorite, fast food? You get your new favorite place to eat, Old McDonald's. Buy your grub from Old McDonald and you won't have to settle for a Big Mac here and a Big Mac there. Try our villain value menu. The Big Bad Wolf loves the McPig, and Shere Khan always orders the number 4 Mowgli meal. And with every villain's favorite, the Filet-O-Fred, you can eat like the baddies without having to steal like them. If you ask for the Peter Pan meal at Wendy's, you know you'll just end up saying, E-I-E-I, no. Come see us at Old McDonald's and get the gingerbread man for dessert, because you know Prince Hans won't be fixing the ice cream machine. It's Old McDonald's. Fantasy food, fresh from the farm. Just don't ask for a happy ever after meal.
That's the return of our big voice guy, Mark Robertson, last heard as the badass bullfrog personal injury lawyer back in episode 11, a performance that's going to be hard to top, though a Filet-O-Fred is a good start. Now that we're nourished, we've got some more headlines for you. Tinkerbell recuperating after incident with Bug Zapper. Dr. Seuss sets email record after Spam I Am takes over marketing. And in business news, Iago launches new fairy tale reality tour. Tired of hanging out with Jafar and molting all day, wisecracking parrot Iago is set to try his hand in the small business world again. Bouncing back from an ill-fated stint owning the Tiki Room, Iago is following in Cosmo Kramer's footsteps by launching his own fairy tale neighborhood tour. Inspired by Hollywood celebrity home tours, Iago promises guests top-secret maps that will guide them to all their favorite fairy tale sites, and we're not just talking about the Sultan's castle. According to an itinerary leaked online, the 2-hour walking tour begins with a stroll by Little Red Riding Hood's grandma's, though for safety reasons guests are encouraged not to enter. It's a different story later, though, with an interactive stop where tour members play Goldilocks and break into the Three Bears house in the woods. Discounts are offered for guests who bring their own crowbar. The tour continues on past Jack's Beanstalk and Rapunzel's Tower, then concludes with hot dogs and marshmallows at the same campfire where Rumpelstiltskin was overheard chanting his name by the Queen's servant. Adventurous guests can also purchase a $50 add-on allowing them to trip-trap across the Three Billy Goats Gruff Bridge, but only after signing a 7-page waiver covering troll-related injuries.